All right, next up, guys, we got fantasy picks. This is our picks for the week that you think you should start and sit them. I'm saying to sit Justin Herbert, despite his recent impressive play. Miami's defense, I've been raving about them this entire show. Super impressive. Super impressive, I think. The second,
Even though I'm starting him.
yeah, do what you want, but it's the secondary for me, and it's the pass rush. Kyler Murray had his way, but Kyler Murray's different than Justin Herbert, I think. Mike Williams might not be playing. That's a big thing.
Oh, that's right.
And he's their deep ball guy. Keenan Allen's the best route runner, one of the best route runners in football, if not the best. So he's going to do his thing, I think. But he's going to be guarded by Xavier Howard. And that's, I think, a problem for them. Because I don't even know what D-Hop's line was in the Cardinals game. I don't think it was that big. We didn't hear about it. So
he got, I think it was he only got 1 or 2 receptions.
Yeah.
For not that many yards.
A couple of PIs that I think were a little iffy.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Fantasy purposes wasn't great. For them, it was pretty good.
So maybe even sit Keenan Allen, too. That's another one you could throw in there. And then my other one is start Deshaun Watson. They're playing the Browns.
Oh.
In case anyone's wondering. That's the worst secondary in football.
That is.
You can argue the Raiders, but that's the worst secondary in football. So I said start him. I think he's a dog. I love Deshaun Watson. A lot of people think he's overrated. I hear that a lot. A lot of my friends do.
No.
But I think that's just ridiculous. He is a stud. He doesn't have a lot of weapons this year. Really unfortunate what's happening with the Texans because Bill O'Brien. I think someone paid Bill O'Brien to bring them to the ground because they had just everything they needed besides, someone in the secondary to hold that defense down. J.J. Watt's getting old, but Deshaun Watson's everything you need. They just paid him $200 million.
Yeah.
So start him.
I would say considering the weapons he has this year in comparison to last year, he's still playing on the same caliber.
Yeah.
Considering the weapons he's lacking.
Not exactly the same.
Will Fuller, no diss to him, but he's no D-Hop.
D-Hop, exactly.
He's no D-Hop.
If you have D-Hop, I think they might be in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Challenging the Titans, that is. Who are your guys?
So my first one, and if you aren't starting him already, James Robinson.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, we talked. I mentioned I was going to talk about him. He's playing Green Bay, who don't have a particularly strong run defense.
I said that.
We were talking about that.
Particularly strong. They have the worst run defense in football.
No.
The numbers might not show it, but that's the worst run defense in football, I think. Go ahead.
So teams don't rush a ton against the Green Bay Packers, which is a little confusing to me because they have 196 rush attempts against them, which is the 5th lowest actually. But
even with that,
they have 888 yards rushing allowed, which is almost worst. It's close to, I think it was when I was reading it, 15th or 16th. And considering how few times,
middle of the pack, yeah.
It's roughly middle of the pack, but at the same time, considering people aren't rushing a ton against them, they're letting up more yards than they should rushing. And this is the big thing for me. They're allowing, on average, 4.5 yards per rush attempt. If I see that against almost any team, I'm starting that running back.
Yeah, 4.5 rushing yards attempt. That might be the highest in the league.
No, it's not the highest. There's a couple who are 5.
Well, there's the worst teams in football. Yeah. And stuff that you can
worst reasonable team. Yeah. Worst reasonable team. I think
pathetic.
If you have James Robinson, you put him in, and not only that, he is amongst running backs. He has one of the highest amount of receptions right now. So they use him on both sides.
That's where he gets all of his. Yeah, that's where he gets all of his points.
So I'm thinking you put him in, and he's getting minimum 20 points.
Well, he didn't even catch a pass last week either.
He didn't, but he's averaging roughly 3 a game. He's averaging 3 receptions a game for around 20 yards.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good if you ask me. I'm starting him. I would start him if I had him. I don't. My next one, I've got a duo here. I've got a duo of sits. I've got Chris Carson, and I've got Darrell Henderson.
Are they playing each other?
They're playing each other. The Seahawks and the Rams are playing each other.
Oh, it's an air attack.
Yeah.
I hear you.
The reason why I'm saying, man, we were just talking about how, Seahawks haven't been doing well, but that's their passing defense. Their rushing defense and the Rams' rushing defense are top 5 in the league, both of them. Both of them are top 5 in the league rushing defenses. They've both allowed under 800 yards.
You want to know why I think that is?
Why?
I think it's because you can throw on either.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly why. And
it's surprising because Jalen Ramsey.
They're pretty high up in rush attempts still.
You would think, on both teams?
No, just on both teams. They have a good amount of rushing attempts against them, and they're one of 5 teams in the league to still keep it under 800 rushing yards allowed.
Huh.
I think you don't touch that rushing game against those two because they both know that their passing defenses suck, and they're only going to be throwing.
I bet that game, it's going to be 26-28 I bet that's the finish.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be an air game. It is going to be all air. You're barely going to see the run game.
26-28 is the low scoring for them.
Well, I know that.
Game.
I know that, but that's because
they're in the same division, right?
Yes.
Rams and Seahawks. If I'm thinking right. Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams, 49ers, right?
Yeah, you're right. They're going to be strictly in the air.
That's the best division in football.
One of them.
No, that's the best.
Okay, fair. Ours is second.
Everyone has like 5 wins in that division.
Ours is second.
Ours is not second.
Ours is second.
It might be. You're right. There's an argument there, but it's us and then the Browns.
Win percentage wise, I think we're second. I think like overall, our division as a whole is like a 60% win rate.
Yeah, but the Bengals are dragging.
The Bengals and Browns are just.
All right, next up we're gonna have breakout players for you guys. So